3, 2, 1.
Everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Purls and Pyrs podcast. I am your host, Nina, otherwise known as Ine, on Instagram, Pinterest, Ravelry, all the social medias. For new viewers, thank you for joining me. For returning viewers, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you every single week that you've been with me for the 9 years I've been podcasting. Today is March 26th, 2024, and I'm coming to you from a very, very cloudy, central Connecticut. So, I'm trying not having my lamp on today. However, I feel like it's a little bit dark. I'm concerned if I flip around, the angle is going to be weird. So anyway, I'm just going to leave it how it is, and we're going to do it because I don't have tons of time, but I did want to give you a weekly update. So I missed recording last week, and it's Tuesday already of the following week. I did have one child that was ill last week, so Joshua was sick last week, and then Sunday going into Monday, Megs was sick. And then we also had appointments. I ran a bunch of errands over the weekend. So just a lot of busyness. And we had family movie night on Friday. Hubble busted out of his crate, like completely tore the front door off of it. So we've just put the crate in the garage. And we will see what happens when he is alone. Alone being a relative term because obviously Ada's here. Ada has free roam of the house whenever we're gone. She is a great dog. She doesn't do anything. Hubble does still get into things, so he does get things off the counter. He gets things out of the trash. He just randomly tears things up. So it'll be fun. However, after he took the door off of the crate, he didn't do anything. Other than he had an accident on the rug that was right in front of the crate. And I think that was probably more because he was freaked out about being in the crate and all of the stress that went along with that. So hopefully that's what it was. And he will be a good boy tomorrow night because we do have something to go to tomorrow night. So yeah, we'll see how he does. I'd love if we could have a shorter time span of him being alone, but it is what it is. So we're just going to see. Maybe we'll take 2 cars and then my husband can leave a little bit later or something. Something where like he won't be gone or he won't be alone for as long. I don't think we have to attend the whole thing either. But it is required that the chorus people do attend for some portion of it. And I did agree to make baked goods, so I think I have to be there near the beginning to drop off my baked good. I'm going to make some mini scones, some cranberry orange mini scones. So that should be good. Today I am wearing 2 sweaters. I'm wearing the For Keeps cardigan, which is a design by Samantha Guerin of Samantha Guerin Designs. I knit mine out of Ponkin on the chonky tweed base from Plies and Hellhounds. It was a test knit, surprise, surprise. It's an open front cardigan, and it's got, I think this is like a half fisherman's rib, and then this really nice cable going up on the neck and along the sides. The other one is the As You Like It sweater. This one is a pattern by Pink Hair Girl Designs, I think. She was Pink Hair Girl Designs at the time, and I did test knit this one as well. This one is knit out of Malabrigo sock yarn, some mysterious sock yarn from my Aunt Lynn's stash that I got when she passed away. Volan Vine yarns in Pumpkin Kombucha, and Volan Vine yarns in Harpsichord is the gold. So anyway, this one though is a elbow length sleeve, and it's cold today, so I thought I could do an elbow length sleeve, but I was wrong. So I put on an additional layer. Yeah, so I don't have any finished objects to share this week. I did get some progress done on some. I had a pretty big setback on one of them, and then I picked up something I haven't knit on for quite a while. So I'm just gonna dive right into the sharing. Let me go and close my door. Okay, so yeah, first things first, because of the family movie night, I pulled out my Musselburgh hat to work on at the movie. I worked on this and a pair of socks, but the pair of socks is upstairs. So this is a Musselburgh hat. It is a pattern by, I think he sold it to, yes, it sold it to, and it's really like a hat recipe. So it's a doubled hat. So you basically cast on at the crown, work your increases, work it straight for as long as you need for double the hat, and then work decreases, and then you fold the one part up inside the other part, and you have a really nice warm hat. So I've basically gotten to the point where I'm done with one hat's worth of knitting. Got my hair pulled up, so this is gonna look weird, but yeah, you can basically see what's gonna happen there. I wanna knit it enough so I can fold up also a brim, so it's gonna be super, super warm. But I'm knitting this out of the Advent colorway, the full skein from 2 years ago from Chromatic Yarns. It was called Wish. Do I have the label in here? I think it was Wish. And then this one is Lucky Charms. So Lucky Charms is from Vita Lifestyle. And then this one, which was Wish, is from Chromatic Yarns. So you can see like it's a way brighter yarn, but the Lucky Charms really tones it down quite a bit. And yeah, so I put a stitch marker on here, and I knit all of that during the movie, and then I knit about half of a sock leg as well. It was a little crazy because there were some kids at the movie that were unsupervised. They had no parents there, and they were being super, super chatty, playing with their phones, throwing water bottles with water in them. It was a whole thing. At least my kids were like, man, those kids are being really naughty. So they understood that that was not acceptable behavior, and it was dangerous because there were little kids running around in their socks, and like those water bottles could have hit them and really hurt them. Yeah, it just, and we tried to tell the adults that were there because there were like teachers there, and they did nothing. So yeah, good stuff. Anyway, and I also made quite a bit of progress on Josh's sweater. So I took off work Friday, and then Monday I sort of took a day off because Megs was sick, so I was helping out with taking them tea and stuff, and yeah, I just needed another day off too. So anyway, this is the sleeve. I think I'm almost done. I think I'm at 90 stitches now, and I need 112 per sleeve. So it's real big, like it's all crinkled up on a 45-inch cable. But anyway, it's CC's wool. It's Honeybee is the colorway. I did actually check. I found the label. So yeah, CC's wool in the colorway Honeybee. And it's this really like rich amber gold color. Very nice. for a minute. Josh just got home from the store. I hear him. Before I start my tale of woe there, this one I knit quite a bit on. So it is my old bead sweater by Marcella Chang. I don't know why there's not more projects of this. There's not very many at all on Ravelry. I want to look at how many there are because it's a real shame. Like, a lot of her designs do not have very many knitted, but she has a lot of really, really pretty sweaters, and I want to knit more of them. So let's see. Yeah, there's only 5 projects for this. 5. It's so good, guys. It's so good. And it's size inclusive. I think it goes up to like a 65-inch chest, maybe even more. I'm gonna look. It goes up to a 4XL. $61 inches. And I'm knitting mine with 0 ease, so it's supposed to be with 0 ease. So it truly will fit that size chest. Not, oh, and then you need 6 inches of ease, so it's not a very size inclusive pattern. It actually is. So this one is, mine's with negative ease, so I'm knitting the 39-inch bust because I didn't want the 42.5 as the next size up, and I thought that'd be too big for my waist, and it's fine. It's fitting perfectly. So yeah, I think since I've shown it, I've got another set of 3 colors done. So bringing it closer, I'm doing mine out of, what is it? Sorry. This one's Juniper Moon Farm 14 in Shamrock. Wool Addicts by Lang Yarns Respect Yarn. That's what all the others are. So the gray is Hellgrau. The pink is, I don't know, one is Quartz. I think the light pink is Quartz. And the dark, no. Yeah, the light pink is Quartz. The dark pink is, doesn't say. Bonnet. Yes, I think. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's all discontinued yarn. So yeah, it's really, really nice. And I'm enjoying it. I finally memorized the chart, so I can just zoom along and not have to worry about looking at the chart anymore. So I'm trying to, when I pick it up, get 3 colors done each time. Yeah, and I just basically need to finish the body. I'm going to kind of determine after I finish the body, or when I get kind of close enough to where I'd feel good about just doing a deep ribbing, I'm going to look at how much yarn I have left of each, because I only have 1 ball of the green and only 1 ball of the dark pink. I did contact a couple of different people on Ravelry that had the green in their stash to see if they would sell me any. One of the people did reply and asked how much I needed, and I said, I just need, you know, this 1 skein. So that was on the 21st. She said she's going to see if she still has it, and I haven't heard anything. But I sent out emails to like 5 or 6 people. Nobody had it for sale in their stash, but some people, like, they've got it and then they end up using it for a project, and they've got an extra skein just laying around, and I don't even need probably a whole skein, but I'm gonna make it work. So if I get to where I'm kind of at the bottom of my waist, kind of my natural waist, and I feel like I don't have a ton left, then what I will do is I'll make a deep ribbing of the gray, because I have a lot of the gray. Um, and I'll save what I have left for the sleeves. And then the sleeves, I think I'm also going to make like a long ribbing for the cuff. And that will also let me use more of the gray and less of the green. But it also doesn't take that much for each of the stripes either. So what I mean to do, and I should do this for the next repeat, is weigh my ball, work the repeat, weigh the ball again. So I can see exactly how much yardage I'm using for each repeat, and I can kind of figure out how many I've got in the tank. Because I think for the sleeves, it's probably going to be like a quarter, maybe, of the same amount. I could even figure that out, though, because I could figure out how many waves there are. And then I could back into how many waves it would take to go around the arm. And I could algebra it. Yes, I could. Math is fun. Yeah, so that's the Old Beat sweater. I really love it. You should knit one. All right, and then that brings me to my tail of woe. So, if you will recall, I've got glare here. I've got glare everywhere. Let's see if I can at least get to a darker color, maybe. What if I do this? That's better. Okay. Ooh. So if you recall, I was doing a Stardew Valley sweater using the recipe from Tin Can Knits, the colorwork recipe, the Strange Brew sweater. That's what it is. And I'm combining it with a sock pattern chart. So I got down to the end of the first chart. Basically, it's these trees, another set of autumnal trees, and then their trunks, and then sand or dirt. And I was working the last like yoke repeat before I was going to move on to the next set of charts. I worked them. It didn't work. I got to the very end. It was like a knit 4, make 1, knit 5, make 1, alternating back and forth to the end of the round. I got to the close to end of the round. I had knit 4, made 1, knit 5, made 1, and then I had 5 stitches left. And I was like, something's wrong there. So I went back and looked, and I was like, I probably just missed it while I was talking or reading or something like that. So I went back and looked, and no, I had worked them all right. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm just off on the stitch count. It's flexible, it says. So I was like, well, if I'm close enough, I'm just gonna like let it go. So then I counted my stitches, and I had enough stitches for the extra small. I'm trying to work the ML, so it's like a size between the medium and the large. It's the 40-inch bust. The extra small is not even close to that. So I was trying to figure out what I did wrong. I'm like, okay, what did I do? And I looked at the amount of stitches. I know that each of these is an 8 count repeat. So the chart I'm doing is 8 stitches across. So I was like, okay, so if I'm supposed to have this many stitches, then I should have this many trees. And I did not. I didn't even have close to the right amount of trees. So I was supposed to have 264 stitches at the point I was at on the sweater, and I had 176. It's pretty significant. So I figured out what I did wrong was right here, this first round after the collar. You're supposed to work a setup round that has increases in it. And then you immediately work another increase round. Now I worked around plain after the ribbing, then I worked the setup round, then I worked another plain round, and then I worked the increase round this time. But long story short, I had to rip it all the way back, like completely to the ribbing. So I did. I took a small needle, I picked up all the stitches on the ribbing, I ripped everything out, and I redid it. So now I have the right amount of stitches. Yay. And it does look bigger, as it should. But since I was reworking it, I did make some changes. There's a little bit of weirdness with the color work. I can't tell if it's where I did increases or if it's where my needles have poked through. But anyway, what I changed is I changed out this color for the trees. So previously I was working 2 colors of Flies and Hellhounds yarn here, and it was like Pink Moon and Crow Moon, and they're both real muted and even have some of the same colors in them. So like Pink Moon has some of the purple from Crow Moon in it. I just have one of the colors. So this is Crow Moon. Pink Moon has some portions of it that are this color. So sometimes when I was working the 2 colors in the trees, it just looked like one color anyway. And it wasn't very bright. So like if you've played Stardew Valley, you know the sugar maples are very bright, like neon pink, like magenta, and like this hot pink, what do you call it, like lighter color on top of it to make it have depth. And then there's also these little kind of orangey seed pods on it. So I had this color in my stash. That's one color of sock yarn. It is from Wool & Vine Yarns. It was a collaboration with a British dyer. She doesn't dye yarn anymore. I got rid of the only skein of it I had. I gifted it to my sister. But anyway, it's called If I Want Exposure, I'll Get My Tits Out. And so a bunch of dyers like did a collaboration with her to dye their version of that colorway. So this one was the Wool & Vine one, and it's on the footsie base, but it has all those bright neons. And the bonus was I didn't have to work 2 colors on the trees, which helped because I didn't have all this weird puckering here. So when I was trying to strand 3 colors at once, I found that I can't tension. I have a lot of trouble with it. So it was a real problem for me, and my color work wasn't great, so I'm kind of glad I had to rip back. So I just did it with this one color, and I do like it. And then I also swapped out the orange because I was using a World of Octobers from the Yarn at Home Mom, but the Yarn at Home Mom's sock yarn is a high twist sock yarn, which is great. It holds up really, really well as socks, but these Marie Cutie is a lower twist yarn, which, do I have any of it that I can show you? Yeah, hopefully you can see the structure of it there. So very low twist sock yarn. It's nice and plump, and it fills out, and it is really nice, really warm. But the 2 were not meshing, so like the really high twist was kind of sinking in because it was thin. High twist and thin, so it was sinking into the color work, and it wasn't popping out like it should have been. So I actually swapped it out, and I'm also going to swap this out for the main body of the sweater as well. So I'm using this one, and it is Knit Picks Gloss. I've had it in my stash forever, since 2007. It is the pumpkin colorway, and I have 6 skeins of it, so I should have more than enough to do the body of the sweater as well. But yeah, it's a really nice like autumnal orange. So that's the very tippy top of the oak trees is going to be this, and then I'll bring it back in later, obviously, for the body of the sweater. Like I said last time, I am going to use this for the dirt, and it was working out really well. I had got to where I was using it for the dirt. It was a little bit weird with some of the tree trunks. They did blend in because there's a couple places where there's a very dark chocolatey brown bit. So like this, that is the same color as the trunk that I'm using. But it didn't happen very often, so I think it'll be okay. Yeah, and I was using leather bound for my tree trunks. it was attached to a tank top that I am using, so I don't have it in this bag currently. But yeah, and then I'm going to bring back in this blue color later for the blue chickens. I figured out how to get a blue chicken. I am working on marrying Shane in the game because he is the most tragic character, and he's so sweet. Like, once you get through his trauma dumps. But apparently very few players choose him as their life partner because he has this kind of backstory of depression, and he self-medicates with alcohol in the book, in the game. However, I don't find that off-putting. I think that is realistic, and it's pretty sucky that the people treat him the way they do in the game because, you know, he has a real illness, and people should treat him better. So anyway, I go to the bar every night and I give him some pepper poppers, which are his favorite meal. And yeah, I'm just waiting for the season to come where I can purchase the mermaid pendant to be able to propose, which I think is summer. However, I've also read that, like, if you don't destroy the Jojo Mart first, he will stay at his stupid Jojo Mart job and he won't help you on the farm. So I do want to finish the last bundle in the community center first before I propose to Shane, so that I don't have him working at Jojo Mart and not helping me with the farm chores. But if he is your life partner, you have an 80% chance to get a blue chicken if you hatch chickens, because he invented the blue chickens. So, yeah. So that's kind of cool. So I'm working on getting a blue chicken and marrying Shane, and it's all going to be great in my first version. And there's also an update that came out on the computer version, at least. It's not on console yet, so we've been all kind of playing through and discovering what the updates are. There's one new farm type. There's a lot of new content. There's fish. There's mini events. There's new characters. It's a lot. That was very, very bubbly. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that is pretty much everything I had to show for this week. Like I said, it wasn't a ton, but I did want to jump on here and give you guys an update because I'm doing pretty well at recording weekly. Even if I don't post weekly, I'm taking the footage weekly. Yeah, I do want to cast on for a few things. I have some yarn wound up from Chromatic Yarns for a summer top. I also have some put aside. Samantha teased like a picture of a summer top that's like color work on the yoke. So I want to use some tweed for that. It's tweed I got for myself for my birthday, and then a skein from an Advent calendar a couple years ago. Like, it's a full skein from Advent a couple years ago. So I have that kind of put to the side, and then I have some other yarn for a lakeside. I know I said I was going to use the Anne of Green Gables yarn, but I'm not, because I'm fickle that way. I'm going to use some yarn from the Folklore collection from Gabby. Charybdis is the colorway. So it's kind of a blue with some green and stuff in it, and it's got the silk in it. It's the lucent base, so it's got like silk and other content, so it should be nice for a spring into summer knit. And then what else was I thinking of? I want to knit a tank top, but I don't know what yarn I want to use. So I think I purchased Did I purchase a pattern recently, or I think I might have just been going through my library because I was trying to oh, I know what it was. Yeah, it was going through the No Sheep for You book. I was looking for Disa for her son, who is vegan, and she was trying to figure out like sock yarns and stuff to make socks for him. And I thought, oh, I've got that book, and it's got different not wool content yarns in it. Now, unfortunately, it has a lot of silk, which wouldn't be great for a vegan because it's still an animal product, but there were some, and I had forgotten about the tomato sweater in there, and I've got this like mostly cotton with a little bit of wool blend, like on the bulkier side yarn. Just a bunch of random colors that my mom's knitting group like threw onto this table at one of their events for a stash dive. And my mom grabbed a bunch of them for me. So I want to do a stripy sweater, and the tomato sweater has kind of like a square neckline. It's really cool. And it had color work right here, like a little band of color work in the booble region. But I'm not going to put that there because I don't need to emphasize that. But I'm going to do instead stripes, and I have an olive green, a cream, hot pink, black, and like a weird tangerine orange. I'm not going to use the tangerine orange, but I think what I'm going to do is use the olive green and the cream, and I'm going to do like green, cream, pink, green, cream, black, green, cream, pink, and do like that down the sweater. And then I'll have to decide what I want to do for the collar, if I want to do green or cream for like the collar and the cuffs and the bottom ribbing. But I have 2 of the cream and 2 of the green, and then 1 each of the hot pink, black, and the orange. So that's my plan, but I'm going to use the tomato sweater pattern because I like the shape of it. And I think that'll be a fun summer top as well, because it is, like I said, I keep like putting my screen on lock because the brightness like makes my glasses. Yeah, like I said, it is a nice shape. It'll be good for summer. And I'm looking for kind of those summer knits. I think it'll look really cute with a denim skirt. And I did buy a denim skirt the last time we went to Plato's Closet. So now I have one to match up with stuff. I also need to find some black sandals because I don't have any. And I want some. Like kind of slip-on, platformy, clog type sandals. That's what I'm looking for to go with my denim skirt. I'm sure I'll find some at some point, but I used to have a pair and I had them for like 10 years and I wore them out, so I had to finally get rid of them. I had them resold a few times, but there's no cobblers around here. I had one that I took stuff to in Ohio when we lived there, but I haven't found one here. So anyway, yeah, they finally bit the dust, but I did love them for a long time, and yeah, so I need a replacement for those. But anyway, I'm babbling now, so I'm going to let you guys go. Is that everything? Yes, that's everything. So until I talk to you again, I hope you all get time to do the things that you love, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye.